Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. We're starting with some PlayStation Plus announcements. First, the extra and premium games lineup for April 2025, and also unfortunately a PlayStation Plus price increase in multiple regions. Starting with the extra and premium games, we're looking at Hogwarts Legacy, Blueprints, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage Tape 2, EA Sports PGA Tour, Battlefield 1, and Plate Up. Now, when it comes to the classic games for PS Plus Premium, we're looking at Alone in the Dark 2 for PS1 and War of the Monsters for PS2. Moving from that, we're talking about the price increase. This is being reported by Push Square. They say the price of a PS Plus subscription across all tiers will be increasing on April 16th, 2025 in 15 Latin American countries. This is what Sony announced yesterday. So on screen, you'll see the list of countries that are affected by this price increase, as well as how much the price increase will be. And it says Sony explained the increase is a result of global market conditions. By increasing the prices, it says it can, quote, continue offering high-quality games and value-added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription, end quote. So, yeah, not good news, and, it's unfortunate for anybody who lives in these regions who is also subscribed to PlayStation Plus. But moving to the next topic, we're talking about Days Gone Remastered. It seems like the marketing for this game is ramping up now that we are getting closer to launch. Again, being reported by Push Square, they say no matter whether you loved or hated it, on PS4, one of the most impressive things about Days Gone was undoubtedly its zombie horde technology. The last-gen console could flood the area surrounding protagonist Deacon St. John with hundreds of undead enemies, creating tense fights for your life. This feature is being upgraded with the imminent PS5 version, Days Gone Remastered, and it's also being spun out into its own new mode, Horde Assault. The new trailer goes in depth on the mode, revealing how much bigger the hordes have gotten in the jump from PS4 to PS5. It also shares how you can play as new characters, level up to earn extra rewards, and how the horde becomes more difficult to survive the longer you stay alive. You're working on earning a high score, upgrading your gear, and unlocking modifiers that come with bonuses for in-game actions, though your score will be affected at the end. One example in the trailers is Exploding Freakers, which does exactly as its name states. However, you'll receive a 15% penalty to your final score for turning the perk on. So for those unaware, Days Gone Remastered launches April 25th. And it does offer a $10 upgrade path if you own the game digitally or physically. Just wanted to highlight this because I do think that this is one of the more exciting things that is going to be shipping with Days Gone Remastered. There's no doubt that the hordes in Days Gone were, I think, the highlight of the game, and the fact that they're leaning into that, I think, is smart, and they're going to improve it and give it its own dedicated mode. I'm very much looking forward to playing it. Moving on to the next topic, we have another important update regarding Marathon. Again, coming from Push Square, they say Marathon is the first major release from Bungie since Sony acquired the studio, and it'll be a big moment for both parties. While Helldivers 2 has been a huge success for Sony, it's still searching for the live service gold mine, and it's not going to get a better shot than with the latest and greatest from the creators of both Halo and Destiny. Crucially, the new game, which is set to get a big unveiling later this week, will be available on Xbox Series consoles and PC day one, as Sony always said it would never make the developers' games exclusive, and that's raised questions about whether the release will require a PSN account to play on other platforms. But Bungie has been swift at putting a stop to the speculation, writing on Discord that its game will, quote, not require PSN on Xbox or PC, end quote. As this is a cross-platform experience with cross-save support, you will still need a Bungie account, so we're not sure this changes much for those repulsed by the idea of entering in an email address, but it should save the release from getting review bombed. At least that's what the article's saying here. So, yeah, this is something that I did think was worth mentioning because we know what happened with Helldivers 2, where that game was supposed to, from the beginning, make it so that you needed a PSN account in order to play it, but because Arrowhead was having some issues, Sony said that's okay, you don't have to implement it at launch, and a couple months later they implemented it and they got massive backlash. I think that what Sony's doing here is smart. Just let Bungie do their thing. Sony just seems like they're being hands off here, and I think that's smart. I think, even though Bungie has been kind of struggling financially and with, management, you still, I think, should give them the opportunity to just handle things themselves, roll out their new game, and just see how it goes. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see people's reactions this Saturday when it comes to the reveal. Moving on to the next topic, though, we have a pretty significant update for the PlayStation Portal being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. A major PS Portal system software update will roll out on April 9th, or I should say it rolled out yesterday, that brings UX and cloud game streaming enhancements. Sony has announced that the update will also add the ability to sort games alongside support for gameplay captures. So here are the list of improvements. Sort. You can now sort games in the cloud streaming catalog screen. There will be a new sort icon added to the top left corner, allowing you to sort games by recently added to PS Plus, name, and release date. Next up, we have capture gameplay. The create button on your PS Portal will now be enabled during the cloud streaming session, and if you press it once, you'll display the create menu. If you press and hold, you can take a screenshot. If you press it twice, you can start/finish recording a video clip. They're adding a queue. You can now wait for your turn to play when the streaming server is full. The estimated wait time will be displayed on screen, and the game session will automatically start as soon as it's your turn. They're also adding a pause, where it says during a cloud streaming game session, gameplay will now pause in the following situations. Gameplay will pause when you open the PS Portal quick menu. You can open the quick menu by pressing the PS button, swiping left from the top right corner of your screen, or tapping the quick menu icon from the status bar. When you press the power button once, PS Portal will be put into rest mode and the game will be paused. You can unpause and get back to your gameplay by pressing the power button again. If PlayStation Portal remains in rest mode for more than 15 seconds, the cloud streaming session will be disconnected. Gameplay will also pause when a system error message is displayed at the bottom of the screen. Next up, notification of inactivity. You will now receive a system notification when your streaming session is about to close due to inactivity for over 10 minutes, and user feedback screen. We've added a user feedback screen at the end of the streaming session to rate the quality of your streaming experience so they can continue to make improvements. So overall, a pretty massive update for the PlayStation Portal. Again, it's worth keeping in mind that when this product was first revealed and announced, cloud streaming was simply not a part of it. It's something that Sony unlocked over time and has been increasing, its frequency of its updates as well. And so, yeah, the PS Portal is becoming, I think, a better deal overall. Certainly better for anybody who already invested in one, but maybe more appealing to other people as well with these updates. Moving on to the final topic of the video, we have Microsoft officially announcing the Xbox Showcase, and this is more relevant than ever for PlayStation players for obvious reasons. Phil Spencer, in a recent interview, made it clear that going forward, you're going to see PlayStation 5 logos for their games in their upcoming showcases. And so what's interesting is they're also doing a digital showcase this time and foregoing Xbox Fan Fest, it seems, which is very interesting. You do have to wonder if maybe they're doing this purposely because they expect there to be maybe some type of, I don't know if backlash is the right word, but just a bit of awkward feelings, I guess, from Xbox players, because it's rumored that something like the Gears of War collection is going to be announced during this event, and we are hearing that that's going to be a day one PS5 launch. So it's very possible that at this upcoming event, we could see the Gears collection announced and the PS5 logo right there during the event. Kind of understandable why Microsoft is going to be a little bit nervous about doing an event like that in person and, specifically inviting out like Xbox creators and enthusiasts and stuff like that. But anyway, on top of the Xbox Game Showcase happening on Sunday, June 8th, they're also continuing the trend of doing a direct for one of their games immediately after, that being The Outer Worlds 2. So they don't say how long the showcase is going to be, but based off of how Microsoft has handled it the past couple of years, it's probably going to be like 2 hours, maybe even longer than 2 hours. And I'm actually really looking forward to this, much more so than in previous years, because, there's no denying that going into the showcase, knowing that potentially almost every game that's revealed, even from Microsoft, is going to be making its way to PlayStation 5. Considering that's where I play, yeah, they definitely have my attention more so this year than in previous years. And, I'm hoping we get some good game reveals, maybe some surprises. It is worth noting that Microsoft does make it clear that during the showcase they are going to have third parties there as well, which I don't think anybody was expecting them not to, but just considering how different, the showcase is going to be in terms of platform announcements, they will still have third-party reveals too. So there you go. Let me know how you're feeling about the Xbox showcase. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.